Kanyon production.
Hey, have you ever wanted to wear some stylish clothes while expressing your faith? Are you someone who thinks about your whole purpose being here? Or maybe you just want to encourage people to keep going? Well, if you said yes to any of those, then we have the solution. Call to Purpose is a small Christian clothing brand that values and prioritizes the idea that God has a purpose for each and every one of us. So we allow you to look good, dress nice, while expressing your faith and pursuing God's purpose for your life. So you don't have to struggle to look around to find good Christian apparel anymore. We have what you need. So go follow the Instagram account Call to Purpose to see not only the website of our apparel, but to be gifted with constant motivational posts to keep you going through your day. That's CalToPurpose with an underscore at the end. What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Yes, welcome back. If this is your first time, welcome to another episode of the KanyonKeys podcast. I am your favorite host and the leader of KanyonKeys. Listen, I hope you guys are wonderful. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. We're in the second month of the year, so I really hope that you have been productive. I hope all my people's mentals are okay. I hope you guys have been taking care of business. I hope you guys haven't been lazy, man. Time is flying by, so I'm not going to ramble too much, but I hope you guys are doing very well in this short month of February. We're halfway through the month right now, so I pray and hope that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. But welcome back to another episode, man. I'm so glad for the grace and mercy God has shown for me to be here one more day, man. I'm glad to be alive. I'm glad at another opportunity to not only serve God, but another day that I can do another episode on this podcast, man. So I'm definitely grateful for it. I'm not going to ramble. I have no idea what the title of this message or episode is, but if you see the title and you're reading the title, obviously it's around those lines. So we're just going to dive straight into it, man. We're talking about media today. We're talking about media as creatives, as musicians, as singers. I'm going to kind of walk it slow before I start because I want to make sure I get my thoughts out correctly. I want to make sure you guys receive it the right way. If you decide to kind of interpret it a different way, then that's on you. But I'm trying to make sure I convey my message that I'm trying to give in the best way that I can without it kind of being misinterpreted or kind of looked at in a different light. But of course, we came off of a global pandemic that halted everything. We have a whole bunch of musicians. We have a whole bunch of singers. We have a whole bunch of creatives. I'll say they got their income from doing what they do. And of course, the pandemic forced everybody to stay in the house. And doing that, of course, means a lot of people were out of a job. And I think, I'm not going to say that's what boosted social media and musicians' presence on social media, because there were still plenty of musicians on social media before the pandemic. But I think this kind of enhanced it in a way to where everybody was trying to do something online, whether it was Instagram, TikTok. Shout out to TikTok for coming back. But YouTube Reels, everybody just becoming YouTube creators. Whatever avenue people decided to go, they ended up trying to do some type of content online, okay? And trust me, I don't have anything against that. I mean, I'm doing a podcast right now. So, you know, it would kind of be hypocritical for me to try to bash somebody doing that and then me having a podcast. But anyway, um that was a heightened moment to where everybody was doing everything online. And if I could, I'll say it like this: if I could propose a question to kind of start this off, my question would be, what has the media done with the musicians? I was wondering if I should ask another question, but I'll stay with that. What has the media done with the musicians, the singers, the creatives? Um, I was speaking with someone recently, and I was kind of in a development phase to where I was teaching other people how to do certain things on music. But a lot of times, it's as if people were gravitating towards a lot of the extra stuff online compared to the basic foundational stuff that a lot of us music heads would be used to. If you're a musician, or if you're like a classic singer, or if you're quote unquote old school, then you'll understand what I mean by the base and foundation of what we call music. Um, there's I'll say there's a forgotten art. There's a forgotten art of creating music, of placing yourself in the art of music. Um, Being a musician, being a singer, producer, songwriter, um, whatever label you have, I feel as though it is a forgotten art about having a foundation on what we deem as quote unquote music. And I say that because I know a lot of musicians nowadays that post online, and 9 times out of 10, when people post online, you're looking for chops, you're looking for riffs, you're looking for all the runs, you're looking for um, some of the best things available. Um, I'm trying to think of any extra things that people pay attention to. And I mean, stuff like that is cool. I'm a big fan of sheds. I'm a big fan of just seeing people's creativity doing their craft, um, seeing people's interpretations of how they want to do certain things. Um, Trust me, it is art. It's really an art, and everybody's creativity doesn't work the same. So sometimes you see something that's out of the box compared to what your usual musicians do, or something that you are kind of used to, or basically like the common thing that you always see, and then you see somebody do something different. You're like, oh wow, that's crazy. Um, okay, so here's my 2 cents. I personally feel as though things have been neglected when it comes to actually being a part of said music. Okay. I personally feel as though we've neglected the art of simple things. I think we've neglected the art and the concepts of what it really means to play music. Um, I am at no way, shape, or form bashing anybody that does sheds. I am not bashing anybody in any way, shape, or form about showing off your skills. Um, just doing what you love best, you being creative. I'm not bashing that. I'm not going against that. I find it amazing to see everything that everybody does. But I think there's a thin line between you knowing your job as a musician, as a singer, or whatever you're doing, whatever your role is, you knowing your role, and you taking it to the max. Um, I'll say it like this: when you're in the process of trying to teach other people what you know, one thing I can say is I don't know how to say it. I'll say it is literally the main focus to try to make sure that they understand how important and how vital basic stuff is. And the more you do that, the more you realize is that basic stuff isn't really found that much. Like basic stuff isn't something that everybody knows. It's kind of like the it's a quote. It's like common sense isn't so common. It's like the generic stuff that automatically comes with the art. It's not always there. And I feel as though social media has played a part in that disappearing. I feel as though social media has played a part in taking that aspect away from musicians. Like, if I could share you my insight and vision, when I really started KanyonKeys, um, I was coming off of the mindset of me not being raised in the way of understanding all of the basics. When the idea popped up, I thought about having a way to teach people the basic things that you never really pay attention to until you're already in the middle of playing. Like I can't remember the exact age I really started playing keys, but it's been a good little while, and I didn't really know how important knowing scales was until later on. I didn't know the importance of playing in every single key until later on. And trust me, it's a humbling statement because it's easy to try to say you were killing at a young age, and it's easy to say, oh, yeah, like people look at you as like a prodigy or something, or people look at you as like crazy talented because you're 12, 13 years old, 14 years old, and you're playing like this, man. That's crazy. Like, everybody starts gassing you up and everybody starts like, highlighting your skills. And I'm not saying that's not that's not a good thing. I'm not saying that they shouldn't do that. I'm not saying that, that's something to just like throw away. But it wasn't until I got older and I became not only humble, but I was placed in a maturing process, because it wasn't just me trying to be recognized as like a dope musician anymore. It was more so like me respecting and having a passion for the actual art that I was doing. Um, Granted, God did all of this, man. Granted, God did all of this. So, being given a gift and talent, you know, it's easy to try to learn all the sheds, techniques, and learn all the chops and fills. It's easy to try to hit somebody up and be like, yo, how do I get all those extra triad chords and do all of these extra passing chords and these transitions and all of these extra things, Um, it's easy for people to just ask that, search up on YouTube how to be a monster on praise breaks, how to be crazy doing this, how to go crazy moving up and down the keyboard and everything like that. And everybody usually does that. I'll say it's most likely out of ignorance because they don't understand the importance of the basic foundational stuff. Like, I didn't learn how important scales were until I was already years in my playing. And the moment I started that, I said, bro, I could have been way past where I am now if I actually knew that I needed to know these things. Like, imagine you tell a singer about singing and you got people that could do all these crazy runs and musically talented, but they don't know how to sing from their diaphragm. They don't know how to um, control their breath when singing. They don't know how to not sing from their throat. They don't know how to change what type of singing tones that they do. Um, Drummers, they don't know how to do basic stuff. They don't know how to do certain hand placements. They don't know how to actually like put together certain rudiments and stuff in their playing, but all they know how to do is chop and shit, or they don't know how to really keep tempo, or keyboard players, they know how to bump and they know all these passing chords, but they don't know the minor thirds of certain keys, or they don't know certain tritones that go into certain chords and everything like that. And they don't know the different scales that go into each key to incorporate other things. Like it's a lot of stuff that goes overlooked, mainly because it's like, okay, yeah, I'm trying to become killer. I'm trying to become crazy. I saw that dude on YouTube. I saw that dude on Instagram. I saw that dude on TikTok. Everybody's going viral on these social platforms. But I think everybody's missing the main image and focus of what you're doing when you're on those specific roles, what you're doing as a singer, what you're doing as a musician, what you're doing as a producer, what you're doing, like all of these things that gets overlooked because they're focused on the glamour, the glitz and glamour and the stardom that goes behind the playing, but they don't understand all the hard work that you actually have to put into it. I really feel as though the media as a whole has messed that up. Um, I feel as though the media has really played a vital part in how people value things like that. Like, trust and believe, there's always going to be somebody better than you. There's always going to be somebody that knows how to do things better than you. But 9 times out of 10, we have everybody getting on social media, and I'll admit it. I was like that at one point too, because you see people going on social media. You see all of these tracks that people are putting online. Like, trust me, I got stuff that I wanted to record and upload on my social media. You got people that are just going on social platforms, going live, going on Facebook. You see them in church services, going on TikTok Live, going on Instagram Live, Instagram Shorts, YouTube videos. Just every single platform going viral because you play like a 30, 40-second soundbite of you doing all these chops and fills that nobody's ever seen. Or you're doing these crazy transitions on the keys that nobody's ever thought of before. Or you're doing all these crazy runs with a new viral song that came out. And everybody's going crazy. And mind you, you're talented, you're gifted, and you got the juice. Like, let's be honest, you got the juice. But at the same time, it's very important to kind of look back and question everything that you're doing. Because although we may see a whole bunch of people do all of that online and do all of those things and show off and, granted, show their creative arts, I feel as though some people may not understand the role of what they're supposed to be doing when it comes to them actually playing. Because, granted, these musicians and singers aren't just learning music just to play in their house or to just sing online. 9 times out of 10, these guys are playing at churches. These guys are playing at conferences. These singers are singing at all of these different things, and you have all of these things that are being put into consideration, yet you're not even paying attention to what really got you there in the first place. Like, I remember it was a video Fred Hammond I can't remember what year it was, but Fred Hammond was doing some video, and I think they were doing a song with him. And you had the drummer playing, and Fred stopped him, and he just started hitting the hi hat, basically telling him to keep it simple. Just telling him to lock in the groove. And as a lot of old heads have told me, you know, the pocket gets you paid. Staying locked in the groove is what really gets you money. Staying true to what the song is what gets the job done. A lot of times we focus on all the extra stuff that gets people looking at us and gets us famous, and looking at the things that boost our popularity and boost our followers and gets people like, man, I'm trying to get like you. But you don't even know like your role in that specific setting. You got drummers trying to do all of these extra things, and you're like, bro, like just play the song, bro. Just relax. Just like stop trying to do all the chops. Just calm down. Just give me a solid groove. You got keyboardists or organists that's blazing and doing all these unnecessary changes in the chords and all of that. And you just like, bro, at this point, I don't even know what key you're in. I don't know where you're going. I don't know what you're doing. Or you got singers that are trying to sing and do stuff, and then you got them doing a run every 5 seconds. And now at this point, you don't even know the song that they're singing. And it happens. It happens way more frequently than we're willing to admit to. But at the same time, this is something that should really be looked at. This is something that should be actually considered. This is something that should actually like be fixed. And I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just, if I blame anybody, I'll just say social media as a whole, because social media has turned into a platform to where everybody is envying everybody. And social media has turned into a platform to where people are trying to give the impression that I'm better than you. I have more followers than you. People know me more than you. And now you got people trying to beat each other out on social platforms. You got unnecessary beefs online because you're talking about who has more followers, what video went more viral, and all of these things. And you like, bro, you don't even know the purpose of what you're doing. You feel me? It's definitely a touchy case, but I definitely had the idea to talk about it. It's one thing I've learned over time that bugs me when it comes to that. And it's just, understanding how everybody coming up, everybody growing up, next generation that's becoming musicians, they're only focused on doing chops and fills. They're only focused on doing all of the extra transitions and everything. They're all focused on doing all of these things. Like, they can tell you all these extra stuff, but if you ask them something simple like, yeah, what's a scale, or what's this, or what's that, or just like, how do you do this, like basic stuff that every person in their role and area of expertise is supposed to know, it's like they can't tell you. And I think it kind of messes up and stunts people's growth, because growing up for so long in a way, and then once you get to like almost the adult stage, and now you have to try to unlearn stuff to actually learn the foundation of what you're doing, man, that will set you back. Like, literally, it will take you back like 10, 15 years to just be like, I gotta relearn what I was never willing to learn earlier, or I have to now try to implement this basic principle in what I'm doing in order to become better than what I am now. And at that point, it's like, this one simple thing, or this base foundation thing, if I knew this beforehand, I could have been doing something completely different than now. Like, I could have been playing way better. I could have gotten way more opportunities. I could have done all of this different areas and all of this stuff, man. It's a lot. It's a lot that could enhance, but it's just like, if you don't know the base of what you're supposed to be doing. Everything else really isn't going to matter, man. And I really strongly believe that social media has played a heavy part in it. I believe social media has heavily influenced everything that's going on now. Like, yeah, we're not really in a pandemic anymore. Everybody's back to their somewhat quote unquote usual norm. But mind you, you still have musicians just posting online. You still have musicians showing off and all of these things. But a lot of times it just is looked at as if no one knows the basic stuff anymore. Like 9 times out of 10, people will find it boring if you find a person playing a locked groove or a locked beat or like a song to the totality that it was written in. Or you have like somebody playing a song how it was written instead of trying to flip the song and add all these extra things and show how creative they could be. I don't think it's there anymore, man. I don't think that passion for like understanding music in that way is there anymore. I mean, I know I'm wrong somewhere, but it seems as if no one has that passion anymore to just understand their gift to that max capacity, but they would rather get to the point to where you could just shed and chop and shred all day. It's definitely a forgotten art, man. But let me know what you guys think. I don't want to say all this and people be like, "Well, you're hating. You're kind of you must be hurt, or somebody must have pissed you off, or something like that." Nah, nothing like that. Nothing like that. Nobody's pissed me off. Nobody got me in my feelings. Nobody made me feel a certain way. Nobody told me I played something bad. None of that. None of that. It's just simply an observation that I've noticed that us as musicians, it's a lot of musicians that don't really take that whole aspect of music in that way anymore. You know, like it'll be very hard to find somebody that knows how to play a song off of recording just like the recording instead of trying to add their interpretation to it, you know. Like it's rare that you can find a musician that's willing to play a song just like how the song is. But instead, they'll do all of these extra things and all of these extra tritones and trying to reharm everything. And I'm not saying it'll sound bad, but at the same time, you're like, moments like that. I love moments like that, but at the same time, when you see it so often, it takes away from the actual song. It takes away from the actual music. You have everybody trying to show off more than they actually want to just play the song. Like you have people trying to shed and you have people trying to just go crazy on instruments and everything unnecessarily. And you like, bro, I don't even know what song we doing no more, man. But I'm not going to hold you guys up, man. Let me know your comments. Let me know what you think. Did I hit the nail on the head or did I miss it? Did I miss the mark? Let me know. Did I miss some I's and I didn't cross some T's? Let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure you follow. Make sure you subscribe. We got some big projects on the way. And I have some special people dear to me that I've reached out to that are going to join me on this podcast real soon. So definitely stay tuned, turn the bells on, turn the notifications on so you know when we upload. But until next time, family, I bid you guys adieu. Peace.